Becker, swim dodge, fires and scores! Skipping a step, behind the back! Pass, the extra look, and the goal! Shot on goal and good.
We return to Super Saturday on the Varsity Media Sports Network. On this day, the continuation of the 6th annual Gains for Brains Lacrosse Showcase. No question about it, it is the top high school girls lacrosse tournament in America on this day. Out of Section 1, the Mounties of Suffern High School, coming up from Rockland County, taking on Section 8, the Trojans of Garden City. Jimmy Cavallo alongside of the call, of course. Tracy Weiner, 3-time New York State champ as the head coach of the Dalers of Farmingdale, Lacrosse Hall of Famer. I could go on all day, Tracy, but as I just said, you're a girls lacrosse aficionado. This is what you do. When you think about a collection of talent on a week on a Long Island, doesn't get any better than this.
Absolutely not. It's one of those tournaments that you're so happy when you get invited to, and when you don't get the call from Rappaport, you get upset that you're not included.
And, you know, when I look at the matchups for this two-day event and you start just counting teams and players, you know what, without even adding up the numbers, I know there's 100 commits here this weekend. It's an amazing collection. You'll see girls who were so accomplished. They've picked up the stick basically from birth. And when you think about players in this game, you have to start by the primetime players. Now, listen, Kylie Fennell, of course, is just a freshman.
Yes.
But when you think about Garden City coming into this year, of course, they had the big injury to Syracuse-bound Megan Rode. Sometimes you need a freshman to step up pretty quickly. She has.
Well, the thing about Fennell is that, you know, she's a big target out there, and as a freshman, she has taken a lot of the pressure off the rest of her teammates with Rode going down. I mean, she controls the draw. She controls the middle of the 8-meter. She is their go-to girl at this point.
Kyle Fennell off to a big start this year. You know, you don't get caught up in grades sometime in high school lacrosse because they're so experienced from the travel scene. They're decorated. She will not be afraid on this day. On the other side, of course, for the Suffern Mounties, well, she burst upon the scene as an 8th grader for Suffern. Emma Muchnick, you can go on and on. All-American. Of course, the Maryland commit heading off to play for Kathy Reese. But Muchnick will represent Team USA this summer. She has it all.
Well, she does, and anytime, you know, you're a Maryland recruit, you know you're one of the top players in the country. Munchik does it all, and she's not afraid of the spotlight, and that is such a big part of what high school sports is about. Who's that one player? Game on the line. Need that one big ground ball. Need that big turnover. Need that goal when, you know, your team just needs that lift. She is the one that's going to get it done for them.
Yeah, you love to see the shooting shirts here, and of course to honor this showcase, Gains for Brains, to benefit the Making Headway Foundation. All about the kids today. How about our starters for this game today? Garden City versus Suffern. We just mentioned Kyle Fennell right up there top. Haggerty, Kurth, Gavin. A lot of talent here. Don't forget, Tracy, last year they won a Long Island Class B championship. That was as far as you could go last year. So this team is battle-tested with these starters.
Always. Garden City is always a team that's going to be fundamentally sound and always ready when the whistle blows. You're going to have to beat them because they're never going to beat themselves.
And for the Mounties of Suffern, defending Section 1 champs from a year ago, beat Mamaroneck in that section championship. I know you're looking forward to see Callie Drab, two-handed player, heading off to Delaware, but this is a group that's played together for a long time with Schelling, Burns, McCarran, Myhall, Mushnick, and Ruggiero. Good group right here for Suffern.
This is a great group for Suffern, and this is one of the biggest games that they've ever had to play. And for them, if they can hang and or find a way to beat Garden City, what a stamp on their careers.
Nassau County versus Rockland County. We are ready to rock and roll. Take a quick break. Back with more on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect sets and music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Back at spectacular Cold Spring Harbor High School on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Jimmy Cavallo, Tracy Weiner. This event is sponsored by the Long Island Yellow Jackets. Of course, 2020-2021, the YJ #2 program in the USA, #1 in New York State, #1 club on Long Island. Tracy, it's an organization near and dear to your heart. You're part of the driving forces with yourself and Cal Rose, and it's always been a beacon for girls lacrosse, not only on Long Island, New York State, and America, and on this weekend, you guys are giving back.
Yeah, and we're so excited just to be able to sponsor. I mean, you know, what again, I know Carol's my best friend, but I feel like what she's done for girls across on Long Island is second to none, and we've given so many kids an opportunity just to showcase their talents, just to be able to play not just at the high school level, but at the next level as well. And what I love most about it is how they end up giving back to the program. So many of our former players that have gone through it are either coaching somewhere or whether it's a high school or at the college level, and that's the part that I really love about it.
The YJ, spectacular. As a travel lacrosse guy with 3 daughters, how many times have I gone to the finals in Maryland or Virginia? That was the good news. We were going to the finals. The bad news was we were taking on the YJ.
Really, I don't remember Cobra Kai ever getting to the finals. I think you're making that up, buddy.
There
I'm
you
just
go.
saying.
There you go. Mid-season form right before the tip here. So there's the Mounties of Suffern in their darks. And listen, Suffern is coming into this game with a little something to prove. You know, they're 5-1, Tracy. But John Callahan's club went on the road on Friday night to Bronxville. Not an easy task, not an easy place to play, playing the defending section Class D champs in Bronxville. But Bronxville really handled Suffern. Got out to a 6-0 lead, put the game in the rocking chair, 116-7. I think Suffern's coming in with a chip on their shoulder.
Well, you know, Suffern always, it's a bounce-back game. Look, nobody expects a team to be perfect. Nobody expects a team to peak in April. So for John Callan in a game like that, he just says, hey, listen, so the Bronxville game, how do we erase that loss? Oh, we come out, maybe we beat Garden City. And then everybody says, wow. You know, I mean, to me, Garden City is a perennial power. They're a team that's always talked about at the next level. Most of their players go on to play at the next level and be successful. It would be a huge win for Suffern.
Well, this is what you do when you have a program like Suffern or Garden City. You play people. So Bronxville on a Friday, Garden City on a Saturday. That's how you get better. So the draw at the circle. Here's Kendall Morris for Garden City, the sophomore midi, taking on the aforementioned Callie Drab, the senior attacker heading to Delaware. And Drab right now against Morris. Suffern and Garden City, 6th annual Gains for Brains. Both teams happy to be here. We are underway at Cold Spring Harbor High School, and we'll redraw this one.
Not underway just yet, Jimmy. You know, again, the ball has to go up over the shoulders. Didn't make it that far, so they're going to redraw.
So here we go. Garden City will control off the draw. Caitlin McNabo will bring it down, and Garden City will get their first look at this Suffern defense.
Garden City, a team that's so fundamentally sound all the time.
Inside, driving to the cage and scoring is Kyle Fennell, the freshman. Makes it 1-0 for the Lady Trojans. It didn't take long.
It didn't, and thank you, Fennell, for making me look like an intelligent human, for picking you as my impact player of the game. So, again, big, strong. She's such a difficult defensive matchup. Suffern's going to have to send a double much faster if they hope to contain Fennell today.
Well, you see the size that she has. Of course, it's a name synonymous with lacrosse on Long Island. Her dad, Steve Fennell, the legendary coach of the Garden City boys lacrosse team. Ring of Honor athlete himself, but she's a lefty who can score with both hands, but we saw an example of that left hand right there. Once again off the draw, winning it again, picking it up is Kendall Morris. Good job by the sophomore to grind one out and give GC another possession.
Suffern's going to have to find a way to win the draw here because draw control in girls lacrosse is such an important stat.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, the draw control, I think in college sports, it's been a little tempered by the shot clock. I mean, you saw the other night Duke wins their first 6 draws against UNC, but they still trail 3-2 after the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Jenner did a great job of winning those draws, but she was immediately double and triple teamed. I mean, the athleticism at the college level is unbelievable. And like you said, with the shot clock and in college, defenders are allowed to go through the crease.
Yeah.
So there's so many different rule changes in college from high school. I think it really affects the game.
Yeah, a good defense can help out too. But not many times in high school you're going to win the first 6 draws and be losing after a quarter. That's for sure.
Correct.
So now GC getting another look. Kristen Hegarty now, the senior attacker, one of the veterans here. She's been through the grind of a Long Island championship a year ago.
Garden City's always been through the grind. It's just the expectation.
Now here we go again. Fennell to the right hand, and she puts it home. Kyle Fennell. First goal lefty, second goal righty, and the fearless freshman makes it 2-0 for the Lady Trojans.
It's a good move here. Again, you're an overplay her because she's a lefty, and what does she do? She puts a stick in her right hand and buries it. And the power that she gets on the shot, just everything about her is intimidating when you watch her play this game. And she's still only a freshman. Think about how much better this kid's going to be in 3 years. We're lucky we get to see her all summer long, and she's just one of those special players that comes around and makes a coach breathe easy. I'm sure Ettinger's like, she's only a freshman.
And you love the fact that 90 seconds into this game, she puts the defense on notice. She comes with the left-handed drive on her first touch. Second touch, maybe the defense is overplaying her for her left. She goes to her right hand.
Yeah, like I said, if I'm Suffern, I'm going to have to put a double team on her soon.
Good job by Callie Drab now to give Suffern their first possession of the game. Just underway here, Games for Brains. Suffern out of Rockland County, Garden City out of Nassau County, top flight girls matchups. Both these teams pushed their seasons to the limit and won championships a year ago. On the cut and a goal on the inside for Suffern, and that is Emma Muchnick. And the Mounties get on the board just like that. Didn't take long.
Like we were saying in the opening, Emma Muchnick, she's that player that when she scores and when the game, you get it down there, when you need the goal, let's see who puts this in. Jenna Myhall. Okay, so she puts that in. She's going to Tampa, a top Division II program as well. Huge goal for Suffern right here. It gives them a little breathing. They can get rid of the tightness. Tells Garden City, hey, don't forget there's 2 teams on the field.
Yeah, after the long bus ride, and that was Jenna Myhall, the senior midi, heading off to Tampa to play for Kelly Gallagher. So good job by Myhall on the cut there, and she found the back of the net. So Suffern 1 shot, 1 goal. Now off the draw, comes to the restraining line. This will be a foul now, but Garden City will have the ball and a possession. So Suffern cuts the lead in half. We just started. Now this is going to be a card. Going off is going to be Muchnick, and, this is...
That's an unnecessary card. No offense. I mean, Yes, I do always, go after the officials, whether I was on the sideline or in the booth. But in a game of this magnitude and whatnot, unnecessary to put the team down a player.
And really what it means is now Muchnick, she's going to have to contain her aggression for the next 47 minutes. She's 1 card away from fouling out of the game.
Correct.
Hate to see it that quickly in the first half.
Agreed.
For your top-flight player, the All-American Emma Muchnick. So now, woman-up situation for GC. Cacciabato now to junior. And they'll go behind and take a look. Cutter coming right down. The secondary cutter. Good defense there. Getting the sticks up in the shooting lane was Alexa Spiegel, the senior defender.
Nice play by Garden City. Let the first defender draw the let the first cutter draw the defender and then send the second one through uncovered.
Left-handed rocket right there. Don't know if the keeper got a piece of it. Erin O'Brien, the senior goalie, veteran goalie, heading off to Susquehanna for Suffern, but Garden City will keep the ball here.
Plenty of time. They still have a minute to go in the penalty. Unlike, college lacrosse, if Garden City scores here, the penalty still stays on. You are fully 2 minutes in the box.
Non-releasable. Oh, the wide open cutter off the crossbar that time from Kendall Morris. Suffern fortunate to pick it up, and now they'll have a possession. Goalie's best friend right there, T. And then Suffern will turn it over. Hate to see that if you're the Mounties.
Yeah, I mean, second chances, you can't give a team like Garden City second and third chances at the cage. They will make you pay for that.
Yeah, especially on just an easy one like that. Not much pressure on the ride. And so here they come. Back, coming down Broadway. A shot and a goal that time from Caitlin McNaboe. The Marist-bound senior captain makes it 3-1 Garden City.
Same play that they worked before. First cutter goes through, picks up the defender. The second cutter follows. Man down, nobody on her. There's the first cutter going through. Second cutter comes in. She was guarded on that, but she was not guarded stick side. So her hands are free. She's going to bury that shot.
You love the chemistry there from X, a high to high. Just show her that target. And great assist to McNabo. She'll play for Jess Wilkinson at Marist, so that's a good ad.
That is with my child there.
Yeah.
She's excited. They're playing Iona right now.
We can't talk enough Marist on this broadcast.
No, we can't. Nope.
So Garden City now up 3-1. Drab back to the draw circle. This one shoots to the second line. And back again comes Garden City. Good job by Hegarty. Hegarty's doing some of the dirty work here early, Tracy.
Those are the plays, again, that don't end up in the newspaper, but those are the ones that make or break the game.
Another cutter. Good defense that time.
And they're all even now. The penalty's over.
Suffern now coming the other way. Here's Muchnick now. Muchnick now. Right-handed shot in the goal. Emma Muchnick, the Maryland-bound senior, makes it a one-goal game.
Boy, showing why Kathy Reese has a little confidence in this kid. She comes down, really doesn't have an angle to shoot at all, and goes opposite upper corner. Just a great placement. And, you know, she was unhappy with that ridiculous yellow card. So here she comes down, goalie shifting, opposite corner up high. Unbelievable placement.
Yeah, you can see the countless hours working on that shot. Only had one place to go with it, and she made it count.
She sure did. That was an impressive-looking goal.
It's a big goal, too. So Suffern goes from a pipe being down 4-1, come right back the other way, and now back to a one-goal game. Off the draw, ball shot back to the restraining line once again. Battle for the ground ball is on. This will be a foul now. Good job by Caitlin Ruggiero, the sophomore midi out there for Suffern, to dig it out.
And here we are, well into this first half, and we've been talking about Garden City the whole time. Suffern has a possession right here, and they're only down by 1.
Here is now Ruggiero bringing it across. She'll work it up onto the stick of Kate Burns. Kate Burns, really good player, 5-year varsity player. Saw some action as an 8th grader. She's a Holy Cross commit. Now to Callie Drab. Drab will go up top now to Muchnick as they run this offense now. Here's Muchnick now to her right hand. Defended well. Looking for Drab on the cut. The ball goes through. This will be a turnover onto the stick of Neve Pfaff, the sophomore keeper for Garden City. A lot of goalies have seen action for Dave Ettinger this year for Garden City, but on this day, the sophomore gets the nod here in the first half.
Yeah, I like the design of that play. I think that they could have been a little more patient. I'm not sure if Drab was truly open on that one. I might have pulled her out and then restarted it.
So Garden City now. Just underway, about 5 minutes in here. 6th annual Games for Brains on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Jimmy Cavallo, Tracy Wiener on a day sponsored by the Yellow Jackets. Great job to help put what is really the best high school girls lacrosse tournament in America. I mean, Tracy, you look at the collection of teams that's here this weekend. I mean, is there anything that even compares to this?
Not on the high school level. Maybe on the club circuit when you get all these great teams. But again, it's not based on where your parents decided to buy property. It's based on what club team you've decided. So for a high school event, I would say that definitely in New York State, or the Tri-State, this is the best event.
So Garden City now, nice little inside roll, but defended well by Suffern. And we'll have a flag here. Looks like shooting space, and going to the line now is Marie Cachabato. Cachabato, talented junior midfielder.
We could say talented about most of these kids on the field today, and this is the greatest assemblage, of high school teams around.
Cachabato steers it wide. Don't know if OB got a piece of that one, but Suffern will take it, and they're backing it up. So now they have possession, bringing it across for the Mounties. Gabby Dorenzo up to Drab. We'll have a whistle.
Too aggressive was Garden City. They were looking for the out-of-bounds play on that, but they got the push instead.
Good clear this time from Callie Drab to Ruggiero. And now Suffern will set up shop once again, trying to get the equalizer.
Teams are a little more settled at this point. And again, there's no shot clock in high school lacrosse. So, if a play needs 2-3 minutes to develop, you have that time.
Muchnick check from behind. Too high on the check. So this will be a free position opportunity for Emma Muchnick. She's got an array of shots in her bag of tricks. She's out by the 12 now. We'll see how she handles it. Defense is in good position. Looks like she'll reset it, and she will. Now here comes another card on the head. So Garden City now will be short.
Yeah, Kendall Morris just a little too aggressive on that check. And as Munchik was ducking out of it, she got caught on the top of her head.
There's always that fine line of when a kid ducks under with possession of the ball, because now it's really difficult, just with the height of the head in that position, to catch a piece of it.
But it's still the swinging of the stick, I think, that gets it done.
Drab, good look inside to Burns. Here's Burns to the cage, and she puts it home, and we are tied at 3.
A nice aggressive move by Burns. Takes it downhill, real confident, and just buries that shot. I mean, what I like about Suffern is they don't seem, they got down early quick, didn't seem to phase them at all. You'll see here, Burns goes downhill, makes a great shot opposite cage.
So Kate Burns, next stop for her, the Crusaders of Holy Cross. She'll play for a name synonymous with athletics, Amanda Belichick. You know that.
I do. I like when Amanda calls my house. And her dad's name comes up on my files, and I'm just like, I start laughing. I'm like, I'm going to give this number to everybody in New York State. She's like, Wiener, don't you do that.
So good job by Suffern here, getting up off the deck. Garden City kind of carried the play in the first 3 or 4 minutes and looked like they were going to jump on Suffern, but Suffern has done a good job to battle it back to 3-all here to the goal by Kate Burns. And we are all square now. Brand new ball game. On the clear now, here comes Madison Leali, another Marist-bound player, just a junior though. Leali will bring it across. Off to Callie Drab, and Drab will take a look, and they'll settle in on this possession. Now Drab, great two-handed player. She could beat you with both hands. Now Drab to her left hand, finds a cutter, but good defense by Garden City to push out Ruggiero. Here's Muchnick, a look to the inside. Turning around is Myhall. Myhall now feels the double team. Great defense by Garden City. And the loose ball is underway. And look at the Lady Trojans. They'll get the ball here, but good hustle and muscle on the inside by GC.
And that's always what you're going to get from Garden City, regardless. They can make great plays. It looked like a great interior pass turns into a turnover.
Now bringing it across is Carla Kurth. So good look there by Suffern, turned aside. And now Garden City. Defending Long Island Class B champs. Shut down that high-scoring West Babylon team a year ago. Now Long Island championship after beating Southside in the Nassau final. Of course, you're going to shut down Lacey Downey and company. It says something defensively.
No question about it. Lacey Downey, one of the better players on Long Island as well. I believe she's heading to BC in the fall.
Is that all?
That's all. Yeah. And that was a great game yesterday if anybody watched BC Syracuse. The girls' game was just so high level. It was crazy.
Now Garden City will go from behind and take a look at this Suffern defense. With the ball on her stick, here's Cachabato.
Garden City runs everything from X. They're real, old school like that. They're always going to be that way. They're going to play, your basic defenses. They're just always going to be fundamentally sound.
Kyle Fennell now from X. Now Fennell going to work on this defense once again. Head up, looking for the cutter. Now to the top they go. Good defense on the recovery by Suffern as Odo Manelli will bring it back over to Fennell. Fennell now to her left hand. Fennell looking for a cutter just behind the stick. It's a turnover, and picking it up is Muchnick. Muchnick now will run it across. A lot of daylight here. Now the Trojans are waiting for it midfield. Muchnick finds the sidelines, and she navigates the sidelines in a dangerous position now, but she'll get it back onto the stick of Gabby Dorino.
Munchik does a little bit of everything for them. You see, she always wants the ball, has the ball whenever there's a chaos or confusion. She always wants it in her stick. She's the one that's always going to bring the calmness to the Suffern team.
So tied at 3, just under 14 minutes to go here in the first half. Good-looking ball game so far between Suffern and Garden City. Here's Callie Drab now, taking a look. That head on a swivel, swoops around now, got it on her right hand, steps inside, defended nicely right there by Mabel Overbeck. So now they'll give it off. Here is Myhall. Myhall scored the first goal of the game for Suffern. And off they go to Muchnick. Muchnick likes that run and start now, takes a look with her right hand, feels a little bit of the double team, and this is going to be a turnover, Garden City, but Suffern gets it right back.
Yeah, I think Munchik did not want to make that pass. I think she thought her teammate was going to cut to a certain spot. That didn't happen. Tried to pull it back, and it came out of her cross.
Munchik drops down, but the shot is knocked down beautifully that time. Getting into the stick lane was Rory Heslin.
And Munchik was kind of lucky a little bit on that. It hit off a player. Sometimes you get called for a dangerous propelling on that. She cannot get another yellow card.
Lady Trojans are in motion right now. Dropped momentarily by Hegarty. Garden City now will take a look. Well, the defenses have both kind of settled down in this game after some frantic offensive action early.
Yeah, it's definitely, the pace has definitely slowed down a little bit. You know, and that's the one thing I'll say about the first game that we watched today between New Canaan and Northport. The pace never slowed down in that game. It was, you know, really, really high-paced game.
Yeah, tied game at the half, and New Canaan finds a way in the second half. Wonderful victory for New Canaan. Now on a cut, turning, shot, that's goal up top. McNabo, Caitlin, the Marist-bound senior, makes it 4-3, but hold everything.
So she's going to get a yellow card for dangerous propelling. So, and you see Coach Ettinger's already questioning it. You know, Munchnik takes a shot, hits my player, there's no call. My kid takes a shot, scores a goal, and you're giving her a yellow card. But it was her follow-through. So when you're in traffic and you take that shot, you'll see on the replay right here, as the ball comes out, good ball movement here by Garden City. McNabo gets the ball, and right here, she really shoots the ball right. Her follow-through hits the Suffern defender. Also a little questionable.
It is one of the more intricate calls in all of sports,
it's a nice
really,
way
because
to put it.
It's so penal in the moment. You go from getting a goal, then the goal's taken away, and then you have a player taken off the field.
You know, I know that technically everything's done in the safety of the game, but sometimes, look, if a defender's going to get up in my space and I still find a way to shoot and score, let it be. You know? As long as you don't, sometimes they're dangerous. But that, you know, my opinion was questionable.
Well, especially if you have a step on the defender when you're about to shoot, because on the follow-through, if the defender's just, you know, coming through, you know, you're going to catch a piece of them. Now Drab going topside, couple fakes into the back of the cage. Callie Drab, the Delaware-bound senior, has given Suffern the lead.
And what a nice patient play by Dreb. You'll see here she gets the ball on the crease, and what she realizes that she has some time. There's nobody near 1, 2. She goes 3 fakes before she puts it in. And now, you know, for Garden City, you know, the penalty still is intact. You still have another 127 to build on this lead.
Callie Drab. Boy, you think Amy Altig of Delaware liked Callie Drab? She was the first 2022 that they selected on September 3rd. Callie Drab, of course, from an unbelievable lacrosse family. The Drab's dad, Mike, a Suffern All-American, came out and played right down the road here at CW Post. Her 2 sisters, Jordan Drab, played at Rutgers. Riley Drab at Vermont. And Callie, the last of the 3. And, boy, she has made a name for herself, and Delaware's got a good one there.
They sure do. And you know, Amy's just going to have a great time with her at Delaware. Hard-working kid. And it's the type of kid that Delaware needs in their program.
Garden City, possession of the draw. Kendall Morris has done a really nice job here in this first half, giving Garden City a lot of possession off these draws.
No question. It's what kept Garden City in this game so far. I mean, you know, Suffern's been having a good run of it when they do have the ball.
Yeah, the draw, of course, in girls lacrosse, you can build momentum, sustain momentum, prevent momentum. I mean, it's just what makes the game of lacrosse different is that there's equal opportunity after every goal. You know, in football, if I score, I kick it off to you. In basketball, if I score, you get the ball. Not in lacrosse.
That's correct. And the draw is such an important part of the game, like you said, particularly in the high school game.
So 10:45 to go here. 6th annual Gains for Brains. Andrew Rappaport, of course, the founder of this tournament, done such an unbelievable job, has RAF raising all kinds of money for such a wonderful cause, bringing a spectacular collection of talent and girls lacrosse programs from around the tri-state. And it's a day I know everybody looks forward to. Why not on an April day bring these kind of talent together?
I love it. Now it's gotten so big, he has to go to 2 days. So tomorrow they'll be out of Mount Sinai, another beautiful venue, for 3 more games.
Well, it really gives the aficionado a chance to see it all. No simultaneous games. You can, you know, spend the day out here and spend the weekend out here, really. And you really kind of get a feel for the pecking order. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like we spoke about Bronxville handling Suffern on Friday 16-7. Well, because Bronxville lost to New Canaan. You know, so New Canaan, what a signature victory that was for New Canaan. But New Canaan has lost to Darien, you know, so it goes
Correct.
on and on. But that's what you do in lacrosse in the regular season. You compare the big victories. You know, you're going to say UNC beat Boston College by a goal, but we know when they meet again, it could be a different story.
Well,
it's, one goal is what usually separates these championship teams.
And it's a play here, it's a play there, it's momentum here, it's momentum there. It's what's leading up to it. You know, a lot of these teams, this is their fourth game of the week or their, third ultra-competitive game, but they don't want to not be a part of it.
On the free position, yes, sir, Kendall Morris.
Ran through the crease, so she's not going to get credit for that.
Never mind.
Crease violation.
You know, those are things that, her momentum took her through. And again, in the boys' game, if you're the one that scores, it doesn't matter, correct? You can get into the crease if you're a boy as long as the ball goes in the cage. But not in the girls' game.
Good outlet there by Erin O'Brien. Gets up to Muchnick, and now Suffern will settle into his possession. Always nice to see the goalie with a good 30-yard clear. That can help you in this game.
Well, Garden City's now had 2 goals taken away. And that's, frustrating for the players. It's frustrating for the coach. You have to just keep your head in the game and keep going at it.
Here's Much now to her left hand. Feels the double team. Now Much feeling some defense. He'll drop it off to Drab. Now Callie Drab getting those feet working. Drab looking inside. The defense is there once again. Oh, slick little pass to Burns, and she puts it home. Or is it wide? Oh, a crafty little pass by Muchnick. She dropped down to find the angle.
She did, and Burns just shanked it. Pulled it a little too much to the right, and it went by the cage.
She's not going to miss that one, though. So Burns into the back of the net, and Suffern has a lead. The Holy Cross bound senior, Kate Burns, getting it done.
Goal for number 9, Kate Burns.
Definitely a great play. Again, you don't get the first try, so get it right back to me. She shoots that through 2 defenders, and Callie Drab is there as well, setting a nice screen on the goalie. Tough play all around.
Speedy, balanced player is Kate Burns. Does a little bit of everything. Saw some time as an 8th grader. She is a veteran for this team. She could show some attacker midfield for John Callanan, but Kate Burns, wonderful career and really perfect fit for her in that Patriot League, Holy Cross. It's a good fit.
It is. It's, anytime you get to play at the next level, it's just such an amazing experience for these girls. It's what they've worked for since they probably played PAL, in 3rd and 4th grade.
Now McNaboe is Garden City again. Not enabling Suffern to capitalize on taking this 2-goal lead. So Garden City now, after being up in this game early, they have gone cold offensively, much in part to the Suffern defense doing a good job moving their feet. Good example of it right there. Pass to the interior, going to her left hand is Cacciabato, but a nice recovery again by the defense.
Well, remember also, Garden City's had 2 goals taken away at this point. So when you look at the score being 5-3, they feel it should have been 5-3 the other way.
Now the freshman goes to work, turns back to her left hand. Sharp angle, she'll reset. Working against Gabby Dorino. This defense, Rowan Hall, number 16, right in the middle of things here, the senior defender. You got good veteran leadership for this Suffern defense. This is a lot of seniors out there for Suffern this year. They really are in a now situation, and it's all in front of them.
This is a big game for them. They're excited to be here. Everybody's always excited to play the girls from the Garden.
Here's Fennell. My goodness. Virtually no angle for Kyle Fennell, but the freshman found a way, and it's a 1-goal game, basically goal line extended.
Well, you see this play, and Fennell knows that in high school the defender cannot go through the crease, so she knows that when she makes that move that she's going to have her hands free and she's going to have some sort of angle at the cage, and she just powers her way in.
Well, it's almost like when you go that early with the shot, you're almost catching the goalie off guard, like she's not going to attempt it from that angle. Yes, she did.
Not only did she attempt it, she buried the shot. Just great power on that, great speed, great position.
Yeah, and with the loss of Megan Rode, of course, Rode heading off to Syracuse. The first game of the year, suffered that ACL injury. She'll be okay. She'll be out there for Cuse eventually, but Rode really the face of the franchise for Garden City this year, so everybody was going to have to pick it up a little bit. And, boy, it's amazing to think that a freshman has that kind of presence, but Kyle Fennell does.
Well, and again, she's been around it her whole life. It's like when little Joey Spallina started playing. We all knew that he was going to be a star. It's all that he's known, and I think that Kyle's the same way.
So Suffern now will get the ball at the whistle. Muchnick now will take a look. Muchnick now go to her left hand. Muchnick feels the double team, turns back to her right hand. Good job on the defense there by Emily Romeo, the sophomore, moving her feet. Here is Jenna Myhall now. Myhall reset it onto the stick of Madison Leali. Leali now go behind, and now Callie Drab will take a look. Drab showing right hand now, but she'll go back and forth to the left. Now to the left hand. Puts those feet on display. Here comes Drab. Once again looking for the cutter just over the top of the defense, but Suffern will keep possession.
Burns had a step, but she wasn't able to make that connection.
Well, you can see Drab's willingness to make the tight passes in situations. Now, inside. Yes, Jenna Myhall's got her second of the game. The Tampa-bound senior has now given Suffern a 2-goal lead again.
Myhall showing no fear on this play at all. They're getting in the inside. There's bodies on them. They don't really care. You'll see right here. Much so unselfish. And there's Myhall right in the middle of the 8-meter. Gets the ball down low before the defense can collapse on her. And scores on Faf.
Yeah, it showed that high cradle, then dropped down low. Tough one for the goalie to see. Savvy player, in the words of John Callanan. Jenna Myhall got the quickness and create space. Also a two-sport athlete on the soccer team, so this feels no stranger to her in her athletic career. So good job by Suffern now.
Soccer, what's that?
Off the draw now, ball's up in the air. Free ball here, picked up. Good job on the ground ball. That's Muchnick's. Now Muchnick goes rambling down after Alexis Spiegel took the draw. Muchnick has the Mounties in transition, looking for the cutter. Now left side, going to have some shooting space here.
Absolutely. Overbeck just slid into that shooting lane.
Now Quinn McCarron, talented junior, Villanova commit for the brand new skipper for the Wildcats, Jill Batchelor. Here's McCarron now with a chance. McCarron in tight, stick work, knocked aside. Good job by the defense to recover. McCarron held on to it a little too long, and that gave the defense a chance to get after her. But Suffern will keep the ball. Callie Drab now.
McCarron actually had a flag up on that, but chose to take the shot instead, and so the flag gets put away.
Here's Drab now, unguarded from behind, taking a look at this defense. Got the defense on the move. Callie Drab now, looking for that cutter. Still, now she finds the cutter. It's Burns on the inside, but a save on the interior. Pfaff went down and got it. The sophomore with a big save there to keep it a 2-goal deficit with under 5 to play in the first half.
And that's going to help Pfaff's confidence. The last few shots have gone in on her. For her to make a big save like this in under 5 minutes, that should help her out.
Overbeck will bring it down with the human clear with her legs. Good job by Mabel, the sophomore. Now Garden City will have a chance to cut it to 1. Big difference in the first half right there. You're looking at 7-4 Suffern with a goal, but now Garden City a chance to cut it to 1. Here's Fennell now. Good matchup here, working against Doreno. Fennell finds a cutter. Bounce shot. O'Brien went down and got it. Erin O'Brien, the Susquehanna-bound senior. That was point blank.
Great shot. Morris made a great play. Fennell was already, getting ready to celebrate on that one. What a great save.
GC will keep possession now as we roll up on 4 minutes to go here. Gains for Brains 2022, 6th annual. Now driving to her right hand, looking for the angle. OB went and got it again. Erin O'Brien off stick side. And OB has heated up here on this possession and kept Garden City off the board here. That was a good-looking shot destined for the top right by McNabo.
Yep, it went off O'Brien's stick, went off the pipe.
Garden City will keep it. Otto Manelli, here's Torrey. They swing it around, and they'll go behind. Always looking to get into the stick of Kyle Fennell. Now the freshman drops it off, and she'll play a little two-girl game with Carla Kurth. Now Fennell, right-handed drive. Fennell now feeling the wrath of the defense. You're going to have to be physical with that big body of Fennell. Gabby Doreno matched up with her. Garden City patiently now taking a look at this Suffern defense as we come up on 3 minutes left here in the first half. From behind, trying to roll top side. Pushed off, turns back to her left-hand side. Trying to get back. Good defense there. That was Alexis Spiegel going to work, but there'll be a whistle and a free position.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It looked like a good defensive play right there, they're trying to make space. Kurth is trying to make some space, but A little too aggressive.
Carla Kurth now with a look at Erin O'Brien. Here's Kurth now. Gets to her right hand. Fires a shot top shelf. Carla Kurth has cut the lead to 1. She had a little giddy up on that one.
Well, what I like on that play is, Kurth looks like she's going to make a run to the cage. The defensive person slides. So what does she do? She takes a step back, frees her hands, and then lets the ball go right there. She makes a little space for herself.
Well, Kurth, who started all year last year, she's a veteran presence for this team. And Kurth, a senior, committed to Binghamton. Late commit for Binghamton just happened in the fall, which is a really nice story. And she can heat it up, in the words of head coach Dave Ettinger. And you saw that shot right there. That had a little something on it.
Absolutely, and that's a good possession for Garden City. Here they're on the ropes a little bit, but it all starts with the big save by Pfaff. She gets down there, she makes the play, starts the fast break, and then it's game on.
She also plays soccer, but I'm not going to bring it up again.
Yeah, don't, please.
I've gone down that road with you already. Suffern gets a possession. Jess Schelling now. Here's Schelling, the junior attacker, heading off to Queens University down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Schelling, a name synonymous with athletics in Suffern. Here's Drab now. Drab turns it back, feels the defense of Overbeck. Drab now, look at this. Turns inside, and she's got one. Sneaky Callie Drab has got one for Suffern, and it's a 2-goal lead once again.
So, again, this is the advantage of the defenders not being allowed to go through the crease like they are in college. You'll see here, Drab, defender's on her. She thinks she's going to go around, and now she has to go, as the defender makes her move away, I think it's Overbeck, as she starts to go around the cage to pick her up on the opposite side, Drab just curls.
You could just see feel for the game right there for Callie Drab. This is a kid who was born with the stick in her hand. You could just see a great feel for the game, just kind of tucked it in there, really from goal line extended, found the littlest of cracks and made it count.
Well, again, it's recognition. She recognizes that her defender had dropped off and that her defender was anticipating her going to the opposite side. So she's quick enough and to recurl and find her opening.
And the great ones, whether, I think when you think of players like Jamie Ortega at the top of the list, it's recognition. Yes. They recognize things and they see things. Suffering now with the ball once again. Here's Drab now. Uzu with confidence, got the cutter. Good look right there. A lot of contact, no call. And this is going to be a card now as they'll stop play.
Well, it's going to be something. They let the first one go. They're not going to let the second one. I don't think it's going to be a card, but I think it's an 8-meter.
Okay. So Kate Burns now, the Holy Cross bounder, poised, high-skilled player, finds Drab behind. Drab now feels the defense. She'll get hit, but she stepped in the crease. This will be a turnover. That's a big moment for Garden City right there, facing a 3-goal deficit. They'll keep it at 2, and they'll get the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think Drab had a little help getting into the crease on that one, but she was tiptoeing the line, so they're going to give the defense the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Carla Kurth. Check that. That's Rory Heslin now, the senior bound for Binghamton, using her feet. Hey, sometimes if you find the space in there, just wheel it out. And that's exactly what Heslin did right there to switch fields. GC now takes a look at this defense. Here's Kurth.
It's so interesting from a coaching perspective. And here, you see Suffern. They had the ball 2 minutes to go. They're up by 2. The one thing you never want to do is give Garden City momentum going into the half. They chose to not.
1 minute left in the first half.
Here's a shot. O'Brien went down and got it. That one from Cachabato. So Erin O'Brien having a good couple minutes here, Tracy, to keep the Trojans off the board.
That's huge right there, because I would have said, you needed to wait until
Mounties off the fast break. That pass just behind, and it'll be a turnover.
And again, you just want to hold the ball sometimes and just make sure you have the last possession, because you never want to give the team that's behind an opportunity to get momentum going into the half.
So Garden City now have about 25 seconds, down by 2 at the half. Got to be aggressive now if you're GC. Last thing you want to do is hold it too long and not give yourself an opportunity. Now to 15 seconds. Here's McNaboe to her right hand. McNaboe coming down the alley. McNaboe fires it home. Caitlin McNaboe, the senior captain, going off to Maris, makes it a 1-goal game.
What a nice shot there. You know, I mean, it was perfectly placed. I really felt like O'Brien had her stick there, but the pace on that just got right by her. Just, you know, she read it well, but the mustard that was on that shot buries it home.
Great acceleration to get her hands free coming down the alley. And location on that one by McNaboe. And she played every game last year on that championship team. And, you know, it really does it all. She can score. She can come up with the ball when you need it. Two-way midi, Caitlin McNaboe, another great one for your girl Jess Wilkinson at Marist to get. Now off the draw, going to have to let a shot fly here. Inside, not going to get it off. Would not have counted, but that'll bring the first half to a close. Just have to have it out of your stick at the horn, right?
That's correct. Just has to be out of your stick, and then if it goes in, it counts.
Well, Garden City scored the first couple of this game, but back came Suffern, and halfway home here, this Mounties of Suffern have a one-goal game. I mean, Tracy, it's just what you want against two highly decorated, highly touted teams, both of them champions from a year ago. You expect a close game. That's just what we got. Nothing has been decided in this game. Without
a doubt, and that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, we put these matchups or, you know, together on games that you expect to be ultra competitive, ultra high level, and back and forth, and that's what we're getting today.
25 minutes in the books, 25 minutes to go. We are so happy to have you on board here. The 6th annual Gains for Brains Lacrosse Showcase to benefit the Making Headway Foundation. Take a timeout. Halftime is next right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect sets and music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST.
Under, and what a look.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect sets and music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST.
Under, and what a look.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect sets and music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Halfway home here, Cold Spring Harbor High School, site of this 2022 Gains for Brains Showcase. What a day today. We have already seen New Canaan, the Rams out of Fairfield County, Connecticut, beat Northport, the almighty Tigers of Long Island. And in this game, Garden City from Long Island taking on Suffern from Rockland County. Later on today, right here on the Varsity Sports Network, you'll see St. Anthony's, the mighty Friars. And here's your lineup, Tracy, taking on Greenwich Academy. Cold Spring Harbor, the home team, taking Sacred Heart of Connecticut. And then tomorrow, look at these matchups. Sayville and John Jay. Eastport, South Manor, Bronxville walloped Suffern on Friday night. Mount Sinai against Sacred Heart. I mean, these are some of the who's who in girls high school lacrosse in the Tri-State.
And it's, they're all great matchups. Today we have the pleasure of being at Cold Spring Harbor. Tomorrow's games will be moved out to Mount Sinai, another great venue. So, using multiple sites, bringing in the best talent around. I mean, these games are just so much fun. They're so good. The kids really look forward to them. And like I said, as a coach, when you get the call from Drew that you've been invited to Gains for Brains, you know that your team is having a special season.
This day brought to you by the Long Island Yellow Jackets, the industry leader. And look at this, Tracy. Long Island's Blue Chip Lacrosse Camp, July 13th and 14th, Cedar Creek Park. Oh, baby, this is something that is close to your heart for a long time.
Yours as well. I'm going to be missing the Italian food this year. But, what it is an opportunity. It's open to everybody, even though, we sponsor it. Any girl lacrosse player on the island can come to it. It's all the top coaches in the country. We're representing Maryland, UMass, Syracuse. You have Iona Marist, Yale, Brown, Florida Gators, Stony Brook right here. So you get a lot of great coaches. You have Wagner, we have Kimmy Hillier at Drexel, Arizona State, and you get to work one-on-one with these coaches.
Yeah, I remember a couple years ago I was there, and the legend Gary Gate, then the Syracuse women's coach, he took out a stick, told his daughter, when did we string this stick? She said, last night in the hotel. And he started doing an array of tricks and shots. And his message to the campers were, listen, just because it's a girl stick doesn't mean you can't do different things. And just because it's a new stick, don't blame it on your stick, okay?
Well, when Gary starts shooting at the stations,
boy.
everybody gets the heck out of the way.
Yeah, you always feel bad for those All-American high school goalies you have at that camp because
Yeah.
Gary starts shredding them.
He sure does. I miss having him there. He was a lot of fun, but we always have Syracuse representation, whether it's Kayla Trainer, Defoe. Her dad is on the sideline at the Garden City game right here, but Caitlin DeFleece, one of the assistant coaches over at Cuse, always makes an appearance.
Yeah, it's an amazing camp, the Blue Chips camp. I mean, Callie Drab's had a great day for Suffern. She's been a mainstay at that camp before now she heads off to Delaware, and so many of the Yellow Jackets and girls from the programs of these teams out here in Gaines for Brains. So check out the Blue Chips camp. It's a must-have for girls Laxer. Garden City now. Good possession to start the second half here. Coming down the alley is Carla.
8-meter for number 16.
She'll be fouled from behind and will go for an 8-meter here. So Carla Kurth will get a chance to cut into this or tie this game up.
The start of the half is always one of those, for me, the important momentum points in a game, or the end and the beginning of the halves. What a save.
By number 8.
That was just a,
Aaron O'Brien.
again, O'Brien, I think, is the difference so far. I mean, she has really made some key saves in some big moments, and that could be momentum changing right now if Suffern comes down here and scores.
O'Brien gives the defense into offense the look. And Erin O'Brien, lifelong keeper. She's been playing goalie in between the pipes for these girls for a long time.
Look at Coach Callanan giving her some love, as he should.
Good cut. Myhall goes down low. There's a save.
By number 96.
On the other side, now in goal now is Amanda Grimes, the senior. Grimes, of course, in between the pipes a year ago in the Long Island Championship. So as Dave Ettinger will do, 2-goalie system, he makes the switch here for the second half. Pays off immediately.
It sure does. Grimes makes a nice save there on a tough shot, gets down low, and makes a quick clear to start the fast break the other way.
And that's just the system. That has nothing to do with Neve Pfaff, the sophomore. This is just what they do when you have 2 or 3 capable goalies. He wants to see everybody get a look, and that's what they do at Garden City. So now,
Well, the goalie's that position that you can't give her 2 or 3 minutes.
all alone right in front, opportunity, stone cold, Darren O'Brien. Look at OB coming up huge. The Susquehanna-bound senior, boy, the Riverhawks, they're going to like what they see out of OB.
That was just a great save. That's a big-time save right there. I mean, that's a shot that, 99.9% of the time is a gimme-type goal, and she just swallows that up. It's going to make the Garden City girls maybe grip their sticks just a little tighter. She stands tall on that one and goes stick to stick. But like I always say to my own Yellow Jacket team every summer, high to high is the devil.
Make her move somewhere. But
Well,
she matched sticks right there. And
You
that's
got to
what-
make the goalie move her stick. You got to
Yeah.
make the goalie move her stick, move her feet, do something.
I mean, because when you're the keeper in that one-on-one situation, you're just going to try and match sticks, and that's the only chance you have.
And the high shots are what they do in practice 24/7. It's pitch and catch. They're so used to it. Everybody firing at them. Everything's a nice high shot. It's when you have to adjust your stick and move your feet at the same time that, can give you a little bit of an advantage.
The Mounties now +1 with the ball. So now they'll take a look, go behind. Here's Callie Drab. Drab just got it from Spiegel, so Drab now taking a look with her right hand. They'll start with that high stack, and Drab will go to work with her feet behind the cage. Here's Drab, righty to lefty. Now comes top side, pushed off, and there'll be a whistle there. Anytime you extend out as a defender, they're going to
Correct.
call that on you.
100%. And, she didn't really have to extend on that. And I know it's so tempting, but she was riding her out. Overbeck was riding her out of the critical scoring area and then just let her back in.
Tough angle here from the hanging hash for Callie Drab. Let's see what the Cobra does now.
The Cobra.
21 minutes left in this game. Tight game. Suffering +1. Drab now taking a look for the cutter. Switches to her right hand.
I think that Drab has graduated from the Cobra to my YJ Rockland group.
As he should. Now Burns will reset it up top. Emma Muchnick now. Muchnick. Left hand. Muchnick now. Setting up to her right hand. Goes to the right hand. Good double team. Sniffs it out. Muchnick now. Swings it back up to Drab. Drab and Muchnick work oh so well together. Both wonderful stick work. Quick feet. And they keep the defense moving. Now Myhall. Myhall bringing around. Here's Much once again. Much now working one-on-one. Good matchup here with McNaboe. McNaboe chases her out.
They send the double immediately. When Muchnick starts to make that move to the cage, they send the double right away.
Here's Drab now taking a look. Drab now comes topside, goes down low and puts it home. Callie Drab doing the job against this GC defense. She froze the defenders, and C gives them a 2-goal lead.
And again, Drab is so quick that as soon as she starts to make her move, you can see the defense is trying to get a step around the crease to be able to stop her on the goal line. But what Drab does so well is she changes her momentum, and then she gives herself a wide open cage on a regular basis.
So Drab heading off to Delaware to play for Amy Altig, the former JMU keeper, in her 3rd year with the Blue Hens. I mean, you talk about another good fit. They like the idea of Callie Drab running their offense. Their first 2022 they selected, and Drab, you could see, she's got talent and then some.
I've known Altig a long time. You know, I'm good friends with her mom, Bev, who runs MD United in the club circuit. And I remember when Altig was at Penn State, and, you know, she's just, you know, she's such a perfect fit for Delaware, and I know that she's got a great eye for recruiting.
Garden City Ball.
Just great patience and then explosion. You know, kind of you get that defense guessing, you freeze them, and then you attack.
Correct. And when you get the defense's feet moving, and you know, what Drab has perfected is using the crease to her advantage.
And you love both of these teams, how much they want to work from behind. You know, the great Hall of Famer Pat McCabe from Elmont and Syracuse, the 4-time All-American, he used to tell me all the time, the reason why you work behind is you turn the defense around.
Wise words from Patty McCabe.
Always was.
The Adelphi
I've been
women's
using it
coach.
ever since. Hey, why don't we go behind? You turn the defense behind. McCabe told me that. Inside, just over the top of the bar. Good flash that time. Opportunity on the inside.
That was great. Aaron has to bury that shot, though.
So Maureen Aaron, the sophomore, with a one-on-one, and there's OB again, giving him a possession. Now OB out of the cage. OB, outlet, good job right there, and Suffern's going to get it clear. So opportunity for Garden City. They shoot it high and wide. Then O'Brien comes up with it, and now the Mounties are going the other way. Here's Myhall in transition. They'll look up now. Callie Drab over the top of her stick. Bad turnover by Suffern right there. They had numbers, but good dirty work. But it'll be a push, it looks like, and Garden City will get the ball.
So what a great play. And, you know, you can see that O'Brien also has great stick work and great patience outside the cage. What can happen, though, is those turnovers. I mean, you really, when your defense makes a huge play like that, you kind of need to just take a breath and be thankful that you didn't give up another goal and hold on to it until you get the perfect shot. You know, there's no need for that chaotic attempt at a fast break.
Suffern, defending Section 1 champs, beat Mamaroneck in the section final. Of course, that was the end of the road last year, the section championships. On Long Island was the Long Island championships. Will not be the case this year.
Nope.
Suffern has won 7 section titles in their history with John Callahan. The one that's gotten away is the state championship. Been to the state finals a couple times, been turned aside. Great game against West Islip a few years ago. But listen, once you get out of your section or your county, it's not easy in New York State.
No, not at all.
Now coming down left hand, get a goal! Cachabato! Marie Cachabato went to her right hand. It wasn't there, but then she explodes as she turns back to her left hand, got to the alley, and the Hokie Virginia Tech is next for the junior. Makes it a 1-goal game again.
And you'll see here, she turns. You know, it looks like she's driving to the right, turns to the left, and there's no slide. The slide's coming in too late. She'll have a great experience with Kristen Sciarra. You know, I mean, I've known her for a long time, and her assistant coach is a former Northport player, Gilroy.
And Virginia Tech is basically the team nobody wants to play. I mean, they're just in the wrong conference. They have so much talent. She's doing a great job in her first year, the former Dookie All-American.
Correct.
And, you know, from West Point now,
Yep.
Sciarra. And, I mean, it's just amazing. It's just, you play in that conference. I mean, it's a heavy hitter's ball every week.
And the offense always gets better under Gilroy. I mean, she was a stud for Coach Rose. She played at University of Florida, holds so many records there as well.
Good possession by Suffern after Garden City cuts it to Guan. So they'll go behind a Drab. They'll leave her alone right there and keep a defender up top. Suffern had a lot of trouble with the Bronxville backer defense. And Bronxville, when you have that much quickness, as the Bronx do, that backer defense can just take you out what you want to do. They just make you uncomfortable all day long.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, girls don't like girls in their personal space to begin with, much less on a lacrosse field.
Interesting.
So it really, you know, it's really just one of those things where they get a little flustered and then they, you know, make those ill-timed passes.
They have been much more comfortable today in their offensive sets.
Well, because Garden City is your typical, we're going to sit in our zone. We're going to play our base 8 defense. They are just a fundamentally sound team. They're not going to come at you. They're not going to do anything crazy. They're going to make you beat you, at their game.
And it's a tip of the cap, really, to Bronxville. That kind of victory. Led 6-0, 116-7. I mean, this is a Bronxville team that lost by a goal to New Canaan, and New Canaan just beat Northport in a very good game, but took control in the second half. So you realize Bronxville, the defending Section 1 champs, they are a big player as far as a state championship this year.
Without a question. And so many teams are just finding their groove right now. Nobody wants to peak in March, that's for sure.
Brand new coaching staff, too, for Bronxville. So that's changed, but not much else.
And that's what Garden City does. They lull you into your offense, and then they wait for you to just make that ill-timed pass because, they just sit in their, their 8 heels on the 8 kind of thing, and they just lull you into, you got to do something, and that's what they're hoping for.
Rory Heslin now. This pass hits the turf momentarily. Good job by Cachabato. Cachabato is an active player. She's just one of those players. She finds the ball. She's around the ball.
This could be one of those games that comes down to the last possession, Jimmy. It's like back and forth like that.
Yeah, there's been no true separation in this game. As soon as one team got up by 2, Garden City early, Suffern closed the door. Now, Suffern has been maintaining a 1 or 2 goal lead, but Garden City will just not go away. They only trail by 1 now as we come to the final 15 minutes here on the 6th annual Gains for Brains. We got a good one cooking here between Suffern out of Rockland County and Garden City out of Nassau County. Little New York on New York matchup here. All these images being today is part of this spectacular tournament. Sights and sounds on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
What a steal.
Turnover. Muchnick. And now she'll take it to the turf, and they'll keep it.
That's one way to stop a fast break. Make sure you tackle the girl that's bringing the ball up so everybody else can drop into the defensive end.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't pick up a card,
yeah.
You're right.
I'm not a fan of that rule, the no movement after the whistle, that you're allowed to now. It really... so many rule changes that I'm not a fan of.
I'm out.
Alexa Spiegel will bring it across, and now we're going to have a timeout on the field. 14:09 left. So you look at the huddle here of Dave Ettinger, and only in his second year. Of course, Ettinger, took over for the legend, Chappie.
Yes.
And, doing, just a great job. Of course, last year, Dave Ettinger wins a Long Island football championship and then turns around and wins the Long Island girls lacrosse championship. So kind of that interesting scenario where he's coaching football and girls lacrosse.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. I think it's going on at Mount Sinai, too, with Chris Carinante. I think he coaches football at my alma mater, Comsawag, and then has the girls team at Mount Sinai as well. It's coaching. Whether it's girls, whether it's boys, it's just coaching. It's X's and O's. It's doing your homework. It's understanding the rules of the games and situations.
And listen, you ask him what he brings from football to lacrosse, and it's a lot of it is preparation. He brings a lot of film study
Correct.
to girls lacrosse, looking at your opponent, the kind of things that football guys just love. Of course, Dave Ettinger played for Joe Gardy after coming out of Colmac High School, and then you see John Callanan. Albertus Magnus grad, 1990, 25 years for John Callanan.
I've known him, all of them.
As the head coach of the Mounties of Suffern. And he's a kind of a play simple guy. He likes his girls just to play simple, not a guy who's going to look at his opponent too much. He's one of those guys that, look, let's do what we do and see what happens.
Aggressive does not fall into John Callanan's category. He's not that type of guy. He's really laid back. I mean, him and I are like, yin and yang. It's so funny because I am over the top aggressive. And John just kind of looks at me like, well, what the heck are you doing, Trace? But he's real mellow like that. And then you look at Garden City's sideline, and it's the picture of consistency. Defoe's always there. Bob DeFleece, who I love with all my heart. One of the greatest guys ever. And all of his daughters are still involved. His one daughter, Caitlin's the assistant at Syracuse University. And then you look around and you have Gina. It's Leek is her married name, but Gina Sambas graduated from Garden City High School. Gina
Amazing.
Sambas played at UVA. She was one of the best players to ever come out of the Garden City program. I think she has like 45 kids now, but He just make fun of her.
Team USA,
Yeah,
Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And Rogler's been there forever.
Rogler,
too.
Two-sport All-American.
Yeah.
Hofstra field hockey and
Correct.
lacrosse, and just.
And the sideline doesn't change, so the kids always understand the expectation. Whether you're at Suffern, you know how John Callanan is, or whether you're at Garden City, you know how their coaching staff is.
Yeah, so Suffern, of course, playing in Rockland County, and for that Section 1 to defend that title, have to get either past Fox Lane or Maranac out of Westchester. They've kind of separated themselves from North Rockland. They're one of their rivals in Rockland County. I think the game of the year is coming up this week in Rockland County. It'll be Suffern Muchnick against Tappan Zee. Coach Steve Licio and Coach Brett Wright. Their only losses to John Jay 6-1. They have a bunch of D1 commits. Kelly Linehan going to American. Marley Wright going to Brown. Catherine Stacker going to Marist. Tracy, another Marist kid.
Nice.
Catherine O'Keefe going to BU. So that game is this week. And there's no county championship in Rockland, but in my mind, this is the county championship when Suffern plays Tappan Zee this week, because North Rockland just lost to Nyack. Nyack lost to Suffern by 2 touchdowns. So when Suffern and Tappan Zee play, this is it. It's for the Rockland supremacy.
And what a great warm-up this game is, And I mean, me personally, I do have a preference to the Fox Lane coach, one of my favorite humans as well, Jamie Williams. I wish him all the best for the rest of the season.
Now here's Callie Drab once again on the inside, and C. Drab gives him a 2-goal lead. Callie Drab is having an all-American kind of day, and she is putting those stick fakes on display. Talk about moving the goalie, the fake, and then cashes in.
Yeah, it's not surprising. What's surprising is that they haven't, really found a way to shut her down. They keep leaving her open right there on that pie slice, and that kid's money. I mean, you can't give her the ball with nobody on her. She's going to bury it every single time.
Great feel for the game and changing of speeds, lulls that defense into think maybe she's in assist mode, and then she attacks. Callie Drab, you can almost tell she's the daughter of a coach. That wonderful feel for the game, has patience, vision. I mean, you can't always be in a hurry in this game. You got to take a look.
Mike can coach is questionable. I mean, let's be realistic. No, I'm just kidding. I love her dad. He's a great guy. He's a lot of fun. He's really into it, and he's he's just one of those pops that's just always on the sideline supporting everybody. Callie and him are like attached at the hip all summer.
But most importantly, he's like a lacrosse dad, as many of them are, that live the game, or a
Correct.
lacrosse mom. So they're outside on the throwback with their kid, talking about your left hand, and all that good stuff that moms and dads do. And for many of us, girls lacrosse is kind of the family business with this
Correct.
kid because of how much time you put into it. Here's McCarron now, buzzing around the cage. She'll go back up top. So Suffern now, 2-goal advantage, and they have the ball. Very good response to their loss just really 20 hours ago against Bronxville. And that's what, Tracy, you coached a long time. You won a bunch of state titles. Here's one on the interior. You always gauge your team sometimes on where you're at after a defeat. How do they bounce back? You're going to get knocked down in this game, in this sport. What's the reaction?
Listen, you can spin it any way you want. You win a big game, and, you talk about, oh, that was game-changing because it got us on our roll. You lose a big game, and then you say it got us refocused. I mean, as coaches, we can spin it any way that we want.
Yeah, so John Callan has got to be impressed with his team and how they've recovered here. Well, hey, they're the defending section champ. This is a decorated program. 2019, they beat Yorktown in the section final.
When you talk about sports, though, the best part about it is redemption. Unless it's the playoffs where you win and you go on and you lose and you go home. But days like today, and when I was talking to Carol after her game, I said, Coach, you want to know the truth? You guys have practice Monday. Good for you.
Yeah.
Like you talk about the game, break it down, see what happened.
There's McNabo now. She'll go behind, and they've really done a good job on Fennell here.
Yeah, in the second half, she's been quiet, right?
Yep, here's Fennell now to her right hand, going to work. Turns back left hand. Good defense that time by Suffern. Right there was Gabby Doreno heading off to Radford to play for Sam Hurley. And Doreno, excellent position on a player who's got a little more size.
Yeah, and I would like to have seen actually Fennell take another step or two so she had a little bit of a better angle. But Doreno was right on top of her, and she could not free her hands on that.
Yeah, Doreno, all-around player. Midi, defender. 2 older sisters played there. Devin went to West Point. Vic, of course, Niagara. So the Dorenos made their mark on Suffern. Now seeing little sister Gabby out there doing a thing. Good player, having a good day there, too, playing some defense.
That was a tough turnover right there, though. Suffern makes a great play, gets the ball, and, at that point you have to protect the ball and stay away from the sideline if you're in transition. They used the sideline Garden City as an extra defender, and the player just ran out of bounds.
On the flash cut, turning back to her left hand. Another save by OB. Oh, McNaboe was calling for it. She got a good look at the keeper, but Erin O'Brien held her ground. Now off the loose ball, picking it out of the air, is Tori Anamanelli, the freshman midi. So that's a good ground. But they all count now, Tracy, in the final 10 when you trail by 2.
I mean, they do. And again, you can't give a team like Garden City second and third chances. You know, it's tough. And Suffern was right there. They just couldn't corral the ground ball.
So here's McNaboe taking a look.
And obviously they have he's locked down Fennell. It's a hard lock. That player is just on her, and that's it. That is DeReno, that is her job for the rest of this game. Make sure Fennell doesn't touch the ball.
So Fennell gets a look, but they'll be called for a hold. And now Kyle Fennell, a couple goals early in this game. Just a 9th grader. Wonderful feel for the game, great power. What a future for number 37 in white for the Lady Trojans.
She's going to rocket this shot.
On the whistle, Fennell winds, fires. OB got a piece of it with her foot. Erin O'Brien with a signature day here in the Gains for Brains. She has been the difference. I mean, when you make 6 or 7 saves in a 2-goal game, that's where you really start to add it up.
Without a doubt. And it allows the defense to take some more chances because they know their goalie's on fire. But I will tell you from a coaching standpoint, what a smart timeout right there by John Callanan, because the girl bringing the ball up on transition was getting ready to be triple teamed on the sideline.
Yeah, that's like one of those basketball timeouts. You know, you have them, you might as well use them. And if you're about to turn it over, because now, you're +2 with the ball, 9 minutes left, and John Callanan is going to set his game plan in play. Of course, today brought to you by the Long Island Yellow Jackets. LIYellowjackets.com, the industry leader, 2021 YJ program, ranked number 2 in the USA, number 1 in New York State, number 1 club on Long Island, synonymous with girls lacrosse, a beacon of girls lacrosse. For how long? How long ago was it established?
Carol and I started Yellow Jackets in, I'm going to say, 1999. We were still in the 1900s.
Wow, so you're coming up on 25 years. And really a legacy.
Most of our kids weren't even born that are in the program now when we started.
We know it's a legacy of great games and tournaments and trips, but really the legacy is having young ladies use the game of lacrosse to get someplace in life, most notably college.
That was always the bottom line. It originally started with her Northport team and my Farmingdale team. We just wanted to get better. So we would go to all the different tournaments, and other kids started finding out about it, and they wanted to jump in. And then Carol's like, maybe I need to do something with this. So, and that's pretty much how it started. And, when you watch the game over the last 30 years and the athletes, I'm so proud of all the girls. And again, they go to the next level. We see them to Waraton finalists.
Amazing.
To me, Jamie Ortega is the best player in the country. I know everybody thinks Charlotte North is. I'm a Jamie Ortega fan personally. I think, and Jamie O's an alumni of ours. And
you're not from Austin, Texas either, so I'm sure if you're from Texas, you would think Charlotte North. But, you can see to donate for Gains for Brains right there, this wonderful tournament, 6th annual showcase right there up on your screen. We'd love to have you donate. It's a wonderful cause to help all these children with these afflictions. But right now, we got 10 minutes left here, 9 minutes left. It's funny, you mentioned Long Island lacrosse players. Last year, National Championship, Boston College and Syracuse, there were 18 Suffolk County players in that game. I mean, you go on, Amanda
12
Ward.
of them were pretty much Yellow Jackets. It was unbelievable. Even the coaching staffs. You have Pareca and Defoe, they're all Yellow Jackets.
Amazing. I mean, you could go on and on with the list. Courtney and Cassidy Weeks, the Bayport Blue Point girls, Belle Smith.
Belle Smith, I was texting with her mom all game yesterday.
5 goals yesterday.
She was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. What she meant for them as a freshman last year. I mean, Emma Ward from Babylon.
You got Holly Schleicher, you got Hunter Roman, you have Jen Medjid out of Garden City.
Yeah. I
mean, they're all studs. You can't even. And even yesterday, you have Hannah Dorney was playing for Syracuse. The Tyrell sisters. I mean, it's just one after another, and we're just so proud of seeing them all on the big screen.
Here we go now. So if you're Suffern, you made the plan to how to navigate the next 9 minutes. You're +2. If you're Garden City, though, you're still right there in this game. I mean, it's only 2-goal deficit, all kinds of lacrosse. Long way to go in this game. Here's Kate Burns now using her leg now. Burns will step through the double. Does a good job there, and she'll keep possession of the ball. Garden City was in possession there right at the restraining line, but Burns will sneak it through.
But, and I will say for Garden City, that was a good restrain right there because, if it was a Farmingdale kid, they might have swung their stick. But
Those Dalers.
But the Garden City girls,
A reflection of the coach.
Yeah, they just rode her, and that was a good thing. No time for a card right now.
So now there's that fine line, the little fork in the road now. Suffern's going to spread it out wide, and now, if you're Dave Ettinger, you're thinking, okay, when are we going to chase? There's 8 minutes left. We're down by 2. I mean, Suffern will be happy just to stay out here and use the clock. No shot clock in high school lacrosse. So
what a shame.
Time is not on the side of Garden City the longer they go here, but
No.
Suffern is just going to hold it here.
Jimmy, you and I have gone through this before. It's my greatest argument now that I'm in the booth is we are not preparing our girls for the college game.
Right.
So, I mean, to me, that's a shame. Shame on New York State lacrosse for not changing the rules to mirror what's going on at the next level.
Yeah, I mean, it's about execution. You just got to get that third official. The clock is, you're talking about a couple $100 investment. Here's Burns now getting topside into the defense. Low bounce shot and a save, so they did take the risk of taking a shot. But Amanda Grimes making the save of the day for Garden City because it'll give the Trojans a possession.
And I'm sure that, John Callan's going to have something to say about that, the check definitely altered the shot, and maybe she should have got an 8-meter, but I don't know if that's the shot I would have been looking for at this stage in the game.
Here's GC now getting aggressive, coming down unsettled to the inside, right-handed shot. Oh, Brian again. Otto Manelli had a look, but Erin O coming up with the save, and Garden City will keep the ball here.
Well, the kid's on fire. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. If I'm Garden City, I'm frustrated with the goalie.
She is seeing it well on this day in the games for Brains. Senior goalkeeper Erin O'Brien heading off to Susquehanna. Play for Randall Swope. And she has made a habit of making good saves in this game. Garden City now, a little inside roll. Look at the defense here. Nicely job. Not to be denied, though. Keep coming. Cachabato finally got the shot off. That was a good matchup right there with Rowan Hall. Hall heading off to Kutztown to play for Kristen Nicholson, but the senior defender did not give her much.
Not at all. And she was trying really hard, to rock her step, get back and forth, but just couldn't get a good look at the cage.
Now Fennell to right hand, sharp angle shot, that goes wide. Garden City will keep it though, so Garden City getting aggressive here as we're approaching 6.5 minutes left in this game. Suffern +2.
Yeah, I mean, and Garden City also, they're in no rush right now. They have possession. It's a 2-goal game. Just have to make sure they get off one of those high percentage shots.
So Kurth from behind. Well, to catch a bottle. Hey, this team is learning to play without Megan Robe. And you lose the horse, the captain, the Syracuse-bound senior, one of the best players in the tri-state.
So frustrating.
Hurt the first game of the year. 15 minutes into the game. In a game she had about 6 points and 15. Here's a goal now. So Garden City, left-handed shot and a bouncer by Otto Manelli. So Tori, the freshman, cuts the lead in half. Oh, that's a big one right there. Just kind of found the right spot.
And that was it, and again, and she shoots in a crowd and she shoots low. You see everybody's collapsing right there, and that one just scoots by O'Brien. O'Brien was on it, but just couldn't come up with it.
Well, Dave Ettinger has said this kid has great composure for a freshman. And, when you're playing with all the sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and your team is down 2, and you have the guts to take that shot, it shows you that composure and the skills and the confidence to back it up.
And it was a great shot. It's not one of those things where, you look at it and say, oh, kind of dribbled in or whatever. That was a high-quality shot.
And Ettinger has rewarded her for that confidence. You know the way it goes with freshmen. Sometimes you just think they're not ready. Oh, great draw that time. Kendall Morris high to get it. Morris has been a handful all day for Suffern. So now Garden City, a moment ago down 2. They get the goal, they get the ball, and they trail by 1 and want to talk about it. But they have gotten right back to where they wanted to be.
And again, for me personally, I as a coach, I don't know what, John was saying to his team, but, you're up by 2, 7 minutes to go. They weren't pressuring me. I'm wondering what Suffern's mindset was on that particular play.
So Garden City now will talk about it. And you see in the back of that huddle, Tracy, as you look at this matchup for Gains for Brains, you see Megan Rode fresh off that surgery. And, Dave Ettinger said she hasn't just packed it in after her season was cut short with the injury. She's really become sort of a mentor and coach for these kids. She's in the film room with them, just, staying connected, and, this has been, a really difficult situation for her, the third ACL. But Syracuse has told her, when you get here, we're ready for you. She's going to do the rehab again. She's going to get back out there. But you love the fact that she has become part of the staff, in essence, and stayed connected to her girls in such a disappointing time for her.
Well, it's her senior year, and for her, this is what she was waiting for, and you don't not want to be a part of it. And if you're a lacrosse kid, regardless of whether you're on the sideline or on the field, the passion for the game is still always there.
So Rode, who was such a big part of that Long Island Championship a year ago as a junior, and she's got to be proud of her team's effort here. The only loss was that opening loss to Ward Nova. They lost 11-10 in the game that Rode got hurt. She got hurt 15 minutes into the game. She already had 5 points and 7 draw controls in the game. So, in games like this and moments like this is the player they would be looking for, their feature player. But, hey, this is how you have to learn and grow as a player and a team. You see it in college lacrosse. It's always the next girl up mentality because injuries are such a huge part of the climate of women's lacrosse.
Yeah, and again, if you love the sport, if you truly have a love for the sport, you just want to be around it regardless of what your situation is. I mean, we say that moving on. I was on the sideline for 30 years. It was time to move on, and it's just one of those things where, I'm happy to still be a part of the game and still be allowed to talk about the sport that I love and the players that I have so much respect for.
So here we go. Garden City has the ball down 1. Kendall Morris, wonderful job on the draw today, coming up with a lot of loose balls. The Tori Automanelli, another freshman midi out there. Back behind they go. Let's see what kind of play they run. Fennell will get a look right here. So now Fennell oozing with confidence as a 9th grader all day. Circling this defense, being chased by Doreno. Feels the double team, drops it off, and now you're going to have shooting space and opportunity for Caitlin McNaboe.
What a smart play. I mean, everybody knows that when Fennell makes that move for the cage, she's going to draw the double, so it's a classic draw and dump.
So here comes the senior captain, Caitlin McNaboe. 5 minutes left in the Gains for Brains. They are down by 1. McNaboe comes in tight. McNaboe shoots and scores. Caitlin McNaboe, and the captain has tied it at 9.
That was a good, strong move to the cage. Great stick protection. And then she was patient enough to wait and get O'Brien to move and buries that shot. That's a big-time play.
First, she gets off the line, too, to get that space.
Well, you see right here, she takes a diagonal run, puts the defender behind her, put Munchnick behind her on that, and then she's able to finish.
All tied at 9. Suffern and Garden City. McNaboe. Awesome two-way midi, in the words of her head coach. It's good on the circle, played in every game last year, and now has tied this game. And now let's see, as the draws become pure theater in the game of women's lacrosse when you're tied late. Up in the air it goes, back towards the restraining line. Suffern comes up with it. Jenna Myhall picked it clean, and she'll bring it across. And the Tampa-bound senior's got a couple goals in this game, makes a big play in between the lines.
Well, that's a huge play right there. I mean, the ball came at her awful quick, too. The Garden City defender on her didn't even have an opportunity to react.
Good quickness, undersized player in Myhall. She got her stick out front there and picked it clean. That's why you stay on the wall in the offseason.
Yeah, it was a great aggressive move, too. Not only did she get the ball, but she got it out of danger in a hurry.
So here's Kate Burns now taking a look. They'll set up shop now, swing it around to Madison Leali. Leali, just a junior, so talented player heading to Marist. Lot of decorated players out here for Suffern who have grown up scoring big goals. Where do they go now? Tied at 9 with 4 minutes left.
I mean, I'm going to Drab. She has the hot hand today.
Here's Drab now to her left hand. They'll swing it back around. Muchnick and company. Good patient approach here as this game is tied.
It is, but I'm putting Drab down low. I mean, that's where her money play has been, and there she goes down low, all day. I mean, she's owned the X.
So now see, Drab going to work. Left hand, head on a swivel. She'll take it up top. Working one-on-one with Emily Romeo. Gives it up now. Now working the ball is Jess Schelling. Schelling now taking a look. So Schelling now. Queens University bounder will go behind, and here's McCarron now, the junior. As we come up on 3:20 left in this game, tied at 9. Still taking a look at this defense. Up top, they go to Myhall. Myhall opened the game, scoring the first one for Suffern.
I would be so patient on this. I don't care if I work the last 3 minutes to get the last shot till I have the 100% high percentage shot.
Now Muchnick. High cradle looking over the top of this defense. They'll go behind to McCarron. Now McCarron tried that stack cutter. Drab with a cut, nothing there. Under 3 minutes left now in this game. Up top to Myhall. Suffern looking for that bounce-back signature victory after losing to Brocksville on a Friday afternoon. But on Saturday afternoon, they have been terrific in the games for brains against the defending Long Island champs, the Lady Trojans of Garden City. Now Burns once again to Muchnick. Here's Much now taking a look. Drab will flash from behind. Now Drab will get the feet going. Here's Callie Drab now from behind, going to her left hand. Great two-handed player. Circling the cage. Drab looking for the cutter. Not there. Does the prudent thing and pulls it out. Good defense here by Garden City. They are moving their feet. Now Much once again. Much, the All-American, will represent Team USA this summer. You know she'd love to cash in here.
I would call her number with about 30 seconds to go. I'm calling an ISO. Everybody get out of her way and let the USA, Maryland, Terrapin have the ball, and let's see what you can do. I mean, that's just me.
They started this possession with over 4 minutes left. It's now under 2 minutes as Suffern waits it out. Here's Muchnick once again. Suffern appearing to hold 4-1 as we come up to 90 seconds left here.
And, you know, Suffern does not have a timeout left, so they have to know what they're doing. It looks like they're holding for the last shot almost, and I don't blame them.
Now Myhall.
You know, Jim, you've been around this team a long time. What's the money play? What's the money play?
Well, as you
Mr.
said,
Cavallo?
I mean, it's been Drab from behind today
It has.
and dictating. And what you love about Callie Drab is if it's not there, she'll make the decision and find the cutter. And when you've scored so many times on that roll, you know you're going to draw the attention of the defense, which should free somebody up. But you know, when a team as talented as this, Tracy, you focus too much on the big dogs, and one of the little dogs will come barking.
Well, exactly, but it looks like they're spreading it out here. They're going to hold it for the last shot. Smart move at this point. You're either going to win it or you're going into OT.
Now the game within the game is how quickly do you go? Because you really got to start.
20 seconds.
You got to start thinking about going because you want to get a couple opportunities if you shoot one wide.
You don't. 20 seconds. You're going for that one money shot or you're going to OT.
Here's Callie Drab. They got an ISO. The defense has been cleared out. This is what Suffern likes to see now as we come up on 20. So the Delaware-bound Callie Drab takes a look at the clock. Pure theater here in the games for brains. Drab gets it going now to her left hand. Takes another look at the clock. Callie Drab now as we get to 10 seconds. Drab feels the defense. Comes strong now. Now she's pushed off. Here comes the double team down to 5 seconds. Good double team here by Garden City. Drab fires a pass in front. It is knocked down, and we are going to overtime. Spectacular defensive possession by Garden City with that sneaky double team on the ball. Once we got to 20 seconds, it was the difference.
Without a doubt, and I didn't see much flash anywhere. Once Drab drew the double, somebody should have been open, but they just were running her too hard for her to even see it.
So Suffern had a 4-minute possession to end the game. They elected to take the clock and go for the gusto in the final 20 seconds, but Garden City was not having it.
Well, they weren't. And again, you know, from a coaching perspective, you look at it, the only thing I would say on that particular play is keep the ball moving, keep the defense guessing. I think everybody knew at that point what the play was going to happen. Drab was standing behind, just holding the ball for a minute. So you really, at that point as a defender, you get the advantage.
50 minutes was not enough. We're going to step aside here. Overtime is next right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and
So here we go. The ultimate drama, the ultimate theater for girls high school lacrosse. We'll go to overtime. Next goal wins here in the 6th annual Gains for Brains Lacrosse Showcase. Jimmy Cavallo, Tracy Wiener, our entire Varsity Media Sports Network gang. The draw is everything here. It's on the ground. Winning it. There she goes. Kendall Morris has done it again. Here comes Garden City now with their first look on the possession, but Morris has made a habit of that today.
She sure has. And you know me, it's overtime, so whoever scores, there should be an automatic stick check. I'm just going to put it out there.
Like clockwork, you know it'll come. What do you have to lose, right?
At that point, right? But, Garden City, that's a huge draw. And, again, fundamentally sound always is Garden City. They're always going to do the little things correct, and they don't beat themselves. You literally have to beat Garden City when you play them.
So now Dave Ettinger, what does he dial up here? It's a 3-minute overtime. A goal means a victory. So now from behind, here's Carla Kurth. Kurth now working a little screen with Fennell. Kurth now rolls topside, turns back to her right hand, takes a look. Good defense there by Suffern. On the defense again was Ruggiero. So now Kurth, anxiously looking at this defense. She'll drop it off to Cachabato. Cachabato's had an active day. Now Cachabato explodes to the top side. Closed off immediately by Muchnick. Here's Cachabato. Got to look. Downtown she goes. It was just wide, but GC had backed it up. Good look there by Maria.
And the ball went underneath the netting, so they're going to stop the clock here. Cachabato makes a great play. I think if she puts that on goal, this game may have been over. I like the way they set up that play. It's a screen off of Fennell.
So they're bringing it again now. Here's Kurth. She'll dial it up and drop it from behind. See if they give Fennell a touch. Loose ball right there, but now picked up on the fly. Circling around after the loose ball pickup was Hegarty. So good job right there. Hegarty will now swing to Kurth. Here's Kurth now to her left hand. We got the shutoff going, of course. Now rolling topside, taking a look to the cutter on the inside. Ball game! Ball game! Garden City! Caitlin McNabo! And the captain delivers in the clutch. The Marist-bound senior gives the Lady Trojans a victory. Stick on stick, and it is over.
I tell you, Macabo's been their most active player all day today on the offensive end. She's just been everywhere. She has scored their biggest goals. She was a big part of their comeback when they were down by a few. And what a great way that nobody was really paying attention to her. Everybody was looking at Fennell, you're looking at Cacciabano, and here she comes right down Broadway.
What a day for the senior captain. And caps it off with a terrific cut, catch, and finish. You work on it your whole life, you drill it, you think about it, but in the moment, you got to make it happen, and she did.
No doubt about it, and it was just a confident play. It was a smart play. Again, everybody stayed patient. She just slipped through the defense. Nobody on her. Nothing O'Brien could do on that one. Just a good play all around, built on patience and ball movement.
Carla Kurth with just a wonderful cross-crease feed. I mean, we'll take a look at that one again. Watch Kurth, number 16. These are the eyes of the assist you want to see, and watch Kurth deliver it. Boom.
And, you know, it was a great cut, a great sight by Kurth to see the cut coming, perfectly placed, bang, bang. And again, when you talk about the fundamentals of this game, that's a play that you cannot let up against the Garden City because they will always make that play happen.
With 9 minutes left in this game, Garden City trailed 9-7. They win it 10-9. A wonderful final 10 minutes of possession, execution, defense. Hey, they caught a break that Suffern went into the stall for the final shot. It took 4 minutes off the clock for Garden City, but they got the ball in to start this overtime, and they made it happen.
Well, they sure did. And again, if I'm looking from a coaching perspective, moving forward, you know, I'm John Callanan. I'm saying to myself, you know, the next time, you know, we have that same scenario, we're going to keep everybody moving. We're not going to just stand behind the cage and stall the ball out and let the defense get set. What was beautiful about Garden City's attack on the final play is everybody's moving, everybody's touching the ball, everybody's doing something to occupy the defenders, and it's not so scripted.
The Mac attack brings it home for the Lady Trojans. Caitlin McNaboe wins it here in the Games for Brains. We'll take a quick time out. She's next with the Raf right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect sets and music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts,
Under, what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Back here in the Games for Brains on the Varsity Media Sports Network, a riveting overtime victory for the Lady Trojans of Garden City. Caitlin McNaboe, the senior captain, heading off to Marist. Her fourth goal of the day was a big one, Raf. She's with the guy, the man, the founder of this tournament, Andrew Rappaport. Raf, take it away.
Jimmy, it's good working with you again. It's been a while, but it's good. All right. I am here with Caitlin McNaboe, who scored the game winner. We'll call you Ms. Game Winner. How about that? All right, take me through that play.
So we had our huddle after the game ended, and coach was like, this is it, the first draw, get this draw, go down, settle the ball, and take the right shot. And I saw my girl watching the ball, and that's when I just cut, and Carla gave me a perfect pass, and I hit the off 6 side of the goal, so it was pretty exciting.
How much do you want the ball in your stick in a situation like that?
I mean, it's really nerve-wracking. You're the one that doesn't want to mess up, because if the goalie saved that, the other team would have had the ball. So, you have to have a lot of confidence when you get the ball in your stick and have that mindset.
All right, let's rewind a little bit, because you got to the early lead, then they came back, they led at half. But I think the big part of the game was go Caitlin, while her teammates are cheering for her. The big part of the game was when you guys scored late in that first half to get back within a goal. How important was that goal really to give you momentum going into the half?
Very important. You never want to be down by a lot of goals at halftime, so I think being down by 1 really gave us the drive, and we had all that momentum going forward into the second half, so I think we needed that.
And even though you were playing catch up for a lot of the game, did you guys always feel confident that you'd be able to get back?
Yeah, and even the people on our sideline always cheering for us. No one gets down on themselves. We go over to the defense, go over to the goalie, make sure everyone's hyped up and has the mindset going forward that we're gonna win this game.
And a win like this, the way you won it against a good quality team, how much could that help you for the rest of the season?
Definitely gives us motivation and confidence. We have a couple tough games coming up. We have Manhasset next Saturday, so I think we have this winning streak going right now, and it gives us more motivation to keep that up.
There you go. Ms. Game Winner, her 4th goal of the day. Jimmy, back to you. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget, if you want to donate to the cause, Making Headway Foundation, go to gainsforbrainslax.org. On that website, you'll find out all the information about the tournament, the charity, and there's a donate button where you can go and help us out, help the cause. It helps kids with brain and spinal cord tumors. And now, Jimmy, back to you.
Hey, Raph, great job as always, buddy. What an unbelievable thing you did 6 years ago, putting this tournament together 8 years ago. We know we had a couple gaps there with COVID, but the 6th annual, what a huge success. All these decorated teams from around the tri-state here. And, man, on this day, Suffern out of Rockland County gave Garden City everything they could handle. They had a late lead, but Garden City, man, the heart of a champion, the defending Long Island champs, they showed it. They come all the way back. They get the game to overtime, and then in overtime, it's Carla Kurth to Caitlin McNaboe. Look at the cut right there. The Mac attack. The Capitan delivers. And the Maris-bound senior gives Garden City a signature win on this day. So we roll on here, and we welcome you to stick around on this weekend right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, our wall-to-wall coverage of the Games for Brains. We want to thank everybody involved, Cold Spring Harbor High School, the RAF, Andrew Rappaport. But after it's all said and done, it took extra lacrosse, but Garden City out of Nassau County by 1 over Suffern for Tracy Weiner, Andrew Rappaport, and everybody on the Varsity Media Sports Network. I'm Jimmy Cavallo. We'll see you next time. The Lady Trojans by 1 in OT.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.